He's running all the way back to the left to the 5-yard line, stretches it out. That's Anthony D. He gets out to the 25. He breaks another tackle to the 30, the 35, the 40, 50, the 45, the 40, 30, 25. There's nobody near him.
No flags.
What a play.
Anthony D goes the distance. D stands for distance. Come the Clippers. On the low block, kick out, downtown, Yahtzee. By Landry, double zero, 0-on-0. Caruso from downtown knocks down a triple.
Two pitch. Base hit left field. Austin Souchecki gets it done.
In front of the goal mouth, they jump for it. The header finds the back of the net. Hadley Commode with a spectacular play.
Hey, good afternoon, sports fans. Welcome, everybody, to Stello Stadium, Mata Field here in Sunsplash, sun-drenched, if you will, Nashua, New Hampshire. Today we have an NHIAA D1 girls lacrosse game. It's a marquee matchup featuring the Bishop Girton Cardinals hosting the Bedford Bulldogs, making the two-town drive down south on vacation week. This is Rich McDonough for the highlight guy, and my buddy Steve Cody, producing a lot of New Hampshire high school sports, and here we are seeing two of the top 10 teams in the state. They are no strangers to the semifinals and championships, each team having won it all in the past few years, and now contending with the likes of Portsmouth, who has ascended into D1 after being in D2, and they're the team to beat so far this year. Let's talk about Bedford briefly. They come in at 4-2, 4-1 in New Hampshire. They're number 5 in the NHHSS poll, say that 10 times fast, and they're 6th in the Division I girls standing. Their only loss so far this year was a game that the highlight guy, Steve Cody, and I covered when Bedford was at home and lost to the visiting Kennebunk Rams by a score of 10-5. And then they lost also just the other day to Exeter 14-10. That was at the Blue Hawks field. Exeter showing its muscle this year, and they're at 7-1 and second in the standings, and looking to get to the Final Four. For their part, Bishop Girton comes in 5-1. They're 4-0 in New Hampshire, number 2 in the NHHSS poll, and they are 4th in the D1 girls standing. Their only loss this season so far was to Westwood, Mass, the perennial D2 power out of our adjacent brothers and sisters to the south. And they've beaten Londonderry, West. They beat West, Wyndham, and Concord. And then they beat Portsmouth? No, Portsmouth, Rhode Island, not Portsmouth, New Hampshire. On the other side of the tape, Bedford Bulldogs, they, like I said, they lost to Kennebunk and Exeter, but they've beaten Dover, Londonderry, South, and Wyndham. Should be a great game. They're coached by two experienced coaches, Christine Hodgson, her 15th year for Bedford, and 29th year coaching all over. And she started out at Exeter, and 29 years in coaching. Let me tell you, I've done about the same. And it's a beating, but it's a beautiful, beautiful calling. And I got to talk with Coach Hodgson. She's terrific. On the other side, it's Leslie Y. All in all, she's been coaching field hockey and lacrosse for 6 years here at Bishop Girton. She herself was an All-American at Bucknell back in the day and finished as the leading scorer in Bucknell Bison history. And now, particularly about the players and the teams, you look at Bedford. They lost some serious firepower last year in Olivia Matthews, among others. They're relatively inexperienced, but this is a team that has kids all over the various club programs doing a whole lot of youth ball, and they are able to, once they get some maturity, some game time experience, they won't be just rebuilding. They are reloading under Coach Hodgson, and that's kind of the message. Bishop Girton, for their part, they lost a ton. LeBlanc, Kuchalakos, Redfern, etc. Lots of great players, but what they do, they have eight girls on the all-state watch list preseason, and they have a number of college commitments in their ranks. Consequently, they have ascended to 5-1 so far this year and undefeated in state. BG can light it up, folks. They are averaging 12 goals a game, and their opponents they are limiting to 4.6 goals a game. They gave up most of those goals against Westwood, the aforementioned Massachusetts Power, and the result showed it. But both teams like to play these out-of-state games. I think it gives you an extra game, gives you a sense of who you are. You take a loss here and there, but it helps you get better as a team. When you play a better team, you see what you need to be. So props to both coaches for keeping that going. BG last won it all in 2022. They beat these Bulldogs 13-7 for their part. Bulldogs last won it all 2 seasons ago, 2023, beating Portsmouth 14-10. Last year, Portsmouth got to where they need to be, and they won the whole darn thing. And they are sitting at 8-0 so far, and number 1 in the standings accordingly, and number 1 in our New Hampshire high school sports poll. And should be a great game. These two programs know each other well. Some of these kids and the families have known each other for years and years and years. And their brothers and sisters all played against each other. I've coached a number of the kids, some of the goalies, but more in particular, I've coached the brothers of some of these players. We'll talk about them as we get going. But it's a wonderful opportunity and a great afternoon for a game here on the brand new turf here at Stello Stadium. Wondered whether we would get some of these games in, but the city acted quickly when it had to and was able to develop this field off-season, fix some of the holes and whatnot, and put beautiful brand new spongy turf down and lots of new gates and safety features, and should be a terrific day for lacrosse here. And again, it's sunny. It's about 70 degrees. I've been in this sport since 1979 when I picked up a stick for the first time. And, I could say the same about rain and snow, but, hey, this is lacrosse weather, baby. Nothing left to do to play. You can see down below the refs are doing the mandatory stick checks, getting the players off to the fields. And speaking of the refs today, they are. Our umpires are Lisa Woodruff and Jackie Driscoll. Plenty of experience down there wearing black and white. I got to talk to them briefly. Their main worry is not to pull a hammy at this time. And I'm a card-carrying ref, so I respect anybody wearing black and white. And as I've said before in some other broadcasts, I was that coach for a long time, decades, all over up and down the East Coast. And now that I'm a card-carrying ref, I do not give refs grief anymore, and I regret all of it, unless it was a horrible call. But again, we are here. It's NHIAA D1 lacrosse, meaningful game as we are in our first third of the season here. It's 12-minute quarters in high school lacrosse per NFHS rules. Again, I'm Rich McDonough here with the highlight guy. So happy to be with you. And before we get going, if you want to stay up to date with all of our highlight guys' upcoming live streams, subscribe to our YouTube channel today and never miss out on the games you want to see. Just go to YouTube, search the highlight guy, and then hit subscribe. we thank you in advance. And I tell you, when you hit subscribe, we expand our viewer pool, and consequently, we can get out there in the field and do more and more high school sports for you. And it's a real blast for Steve Cody, the highlight guy, and me. And we've seen some of the top teams in the state with the girls lacrosse already, and it's been a ball. It's going to be a terrific season. So it already is a terrific season. Also, we'll talk about a great sponsor of ours, EarthTech Systems, which is a premier provider of heat pump technology. And it's got a strong specialization in geothermal HVAC systems. So by championing energy efficiency and sustainability, their innovative solutions not only prioritize environmental benefits, but also help customers save significantly on energy costs. So whether you're considering a new heat pump system or just need repairs, their skilled team is ready to handle even the most complex projects. So learn more about their cutting-edge designs and unmatched expertise at earthtechsystems.com, all one word, no hyphens. All right, we're set to go here at Mata Field here in Nashua, Stello Stadium with its fresh makeover. See it on HDTV, maybe. And here we go. To the face-off circle we go. And the all-important face-off circle, how dare I? Draw circle. It's girls lacrosse. I've been calling a lot of men's lacrosse. I've got the NESCAC semis and finals, which are tomorrow and Sunday, respectively. So forgive me with the mixed word salad on the nomenclature, but we'll have a redraw right there. All-important draw circle. This is huge. Kylie for Bedford has to be huge. She wears number 3. She's headed to Bucknell, and she's great at draw control, and she's going to be lining it up against, can't see through the long hair, but that's Abby Lynn. All New Hampshire watch, and Abby Lynn just aggressively slams that one out. In front of her is picked up by Jordan Gable. She's headed to Iona. She wears number 6. She's cutting through the middle right now. All right, Bishop Girton on offense to start this game and taking it below GLE. That's a good feed in tight and a great catch by Abby Lynn. No doubt where that was going. Beautiful feed. And Abby Lynn on the run got that high and caught it loaded. And what I mean by that is she caught it in shooting position, was able to maybe crank up a little bit of extra windup, but only 33 seconds into our first quarter in our game. Abby Lynn gets herself on the scoreboard, and it is 1-0 for the host, Bishop Girton Cardinals. That is quick work by the Cardinals. You had one cut, and then she got herself up to the top out by the, we'll talk about the field markings in just a moment, but she got herself up to the top of the 12-meter, drew her defender all the way outside, and was able to do that laser-like cut through the middle. Beautiful feed. All right, next time we get into an offensive zone possession with some time, I'll talk about the markings on the field. They're different now. You've got shared field here with all kinds of different soccer, boys lacrosse, girls lacrosse, and football, of course. But we'll try to take you through what the markings mean and what it means for the play of the game, and certainly keep your eye and ears on what I call the CSA, what we all call the CSA is the critical scoring area. Right now, Bedford has the ball after that draw and getting too much check up into the sphere right there. Got to turn that away. You can't check up near the players' heads. It's a safety concern, and it's a good rule. Also, you can't cradle your stick in a position around your head that invites a check. That's a dangerous cradle right there, and you don't want to do that either. Maybe you do tactically, but legally it doesn't work. All right, Bedford, the ball below GLE. That's goal line extended. Now above GLE, that is the goal line of the football field. That is a good trap and a double. Squeezing the Bedford ball carrier right there. That's Maddie Kiley. We just talked about her, friends with her parents. But here we got our first free position, but it's at the 12-meter arc. That's at that outer red line right there, 12 meters from the goal mouth. The inner fan, 12-meter fan, 8-meter arc. The inner one is 8 meters, and that's where you'll see the scoring opportunities generate when you get a foul in tight at the 8-meter line or inside of it. And we'll talk about that when it happens. We'll walk you through it. There are various hash marks where you got to stand before the whistle blows to restart. All right, BG after that turnover takes the ball, carrying it down below GLE. That's goal line extended is Maria Tomasello. She's also on, she wears number 25, also on the All-State watch to start the season. And drawing big-time contact inside the 8. Let's see what they say. They're bringing it out to the 12-meter? Nope. Anyway, it's Abby Lynn who got herself that first goal, but it was interference, a legal pick, if you will. And that goes over to Bedford. And they get the ball, 9:20 on the clock, trailing by 1, but it's early in the game, and this is a talented team in their own right. This time, no dice. That was off the leg as a body ball. And a push right there, and it stays with BG. A little bit of fits and starts right here. It's kind of like my son's car. Yeah, you got to give her 5 yards. On the restart right there. Finally, we'll get things restarted. BG is clearing the ball. That means getting it out of your own defensive end and into the offensive zone. They got it over midfield in the heartbeat, and now what you want to do is get it inside your attacking third, the restraining line, and then down into the critical scoring area right there. BG does that immediately, and they have the ball and looking to create back there is Tomasello again. She gives it up topside. They swing it around. What you want to do is spin it, get into some rhythm here. See where everybody is, see how your defense reacts to the ball and who's got what. There's plenty of scout out there on the tapes for Coach Hodgson to understand some of the BG tactics and maybe some tendencies. And no doubt a talented coach, very seasoned, has looked that up and they understand. But here comes Lynn. She takes a pick and goes and rockets one into the back of the net. 8 minutes on the dot, and they waved that off. She took contact before that shot, so there's no goal. But at the 7:50 mark, you got your first good free possession right there. And, try it once, didn't work. Get it back to her, bang, zoom. Abby Lynn has herself 2 goals already. And it is 2-0 Bishop Girton. That took us to the 7:45 mark here in our first period. Abby Lynn, very talented, like we said, all New Hampshire watch. A couple weeks ago, she rose up big time when Lola Dumont, who's their very talented sophomore, was out of the game. All right, back to the draw circle we go. All important draw. You got to have possession. You got to have the rock, or else you can't do anything with it. Can't be playing defense all day long. All right, Lisa Woodruff, the umpire, sets the ball. And they'll get it completely still, and the ref will back out, call a whistle. Don't want to hang on too long because the kids get jittery. There you go. All right, that's a good punch up into the air, leading to a 50-50 ball. This is what you want if you're Bedford. You don't want Abby Lynn and company to just dominate that draw circle, but for her part, Maddie Kiley, the senior captain, like I said, she's Bucknell bound. She's excellent at the draw control circle as well. All right, Bedford wins that one. 7:20 on the clock. They're trailing by 2 now. And good time for some good rhythm on offense. All right, we got a restart. It was outside the critical scoring area. That's that outer red fan that you see right there. Again, 12 meters away from the goal. You see the inner circle there. We call that the crease or the circle. And it is 17 feet across. If you follow men's and boys, the crease is 18 feet across. I'm an old goalie, so I know those dimensions pretty darn well. But we got a free position, 2 hashes from the right of center for Bedford. Very difficult to see the numerals for Bedford, their black uniforms and those dark red letters. Numbers, excuse me. I will do my best to decipher that, put my LASIK surgery to good use. All right, we got procedure. Procedure, kind of like you got to get set in the blocks, and with the free throw line, same sort of principle. If you move out and move in, you're going to get a procedure call, and back to BG we go. Unforced turnover when you got a free possession is diabolical if you're Coach Hodgson. and she's got to be scratching her head right now. I'm trying to watch the body language down below, and she does look a little bit frustrated. Hey, coach to coach, I feel you. All right, but nevertheless, it is BG ball. They swing it around out top. Nobody in the middle, nobody moving just yet. Here comes the motion for BG's offense. You'll see a little switching, and then you'll see off ball, lots of movement and cutting. More movement off ball, the better. Here we go. That creates green space out top, and a fan and a miss right there by Charlotte Accomando. That one goes wide left. The goaltender, Irene Tsai, we saw her play earlier this year. She's good. Also an ice hockey player. You got to have the tough goalies right there. Big lefty this time for Abby Lynn. Doesn't make it all the way through. Somebody got a piece of it on the way in, but picking it up, as she has several times already, is Tomasello. Goaltending riches. Embarrassment of riches for Bishop Girton. You've got 3 goalies who are all committed to going to college, and Adair Linnell, Danish, and Haley Mitchell, who's going to Tampa. So really good stuff. Maddie Adair Linnell is going to Sacred Heart, back in my old college stomping grounds, prep school ball in Fairfield County, Connecticut. And they're all seniors. That's rare. You have 3 talented senior goalies like that. Seems like Bishop Girton is goalie high, like Miami was quarterback U. Both boys and girls goalies have been outstanding year over year. A little bit too much of a jam in there right there, but good job picking up the crumbs in front is Bella Dawson. She tries to look and resets. We got our first stoppage on this end of the field that looks like it's going in BG's favor. The other one was a turnover to Bedford, but we will have a second free possession for BG. Excuse me, Abby Lynn scored on one earlier. My bad. Everybody jockeying for position right there. Just got to stay outside that 8 meter and get set when the ref needs you to be set. All right, you have the option of pulling it out. That's a good pull out right there, and a real good save right there by Tsai. Boy, Bella Dawson thought that was in the back of the net. Nothing doing. 3:25. It remains 2-zip BG after that really good opportunity right there. Good defense, but a good roll-off. Took the pressure was Maddie Mendel, Mount Olive commit, and she took the contact. It wasn't overly physical contact, so it wasn't a foul, but she bounced away from that good pressure interior defense by Bedford, and at 3:17, she makes it 3-0. Hey, let's talk about one of our great sponsors, Bouvier Prepare, which provides comprehensive college recruiting consulting services for student athletes and their families. If you're looking for guidance in the process for lacrosse, field hockey, soccer, and volleyball, Bouvier Prepare can provide a personalized plan for success. So go ahead and contact them at Bouvier Prepare, Bouvier Prepare at Gmail. No hyphens, no dots in Bouvier Prepare. Or dial them up, 603-465-1122. A busy first quarter so far, and BG finds itself up 3-zip after a pair of goals by Abby Lynn and that recent goal by Bella Dawson. That took us to the timeout that Coach Hodgson called for Bedford. I think that was a wise timeout. And, again, we're at 1:05, and it is 3-zip BG. The Cardinals looking to create. We've got about a minute left in our break here. So what does it all mean? It means we got a 9-team tourney in girls D1. The goal is just get in. Just get in. You know, you're flirting with 6th place right now. You're having a reloading year and take some time to build some maturity if you're Coach Hodgson's Bulldogs. And you play your way into midseason shape. They're going to do that. She's a terrific coach, and these are very, very good athletes for the Bulldogs. Hey, one other sponsor we'd like to tell you about. Well, we are the sponsor. If you like what you're seeing and hearing with our live stream, hope you are, and you think you'd like to advertise with the Highlight Guy or just want more information, go ahead and contact Steve at thehighlightguy.com, all one word. Again, no hyphens, no periods or dots, whatever you want to do. All right, so back to the draw circle we go. Bedford finds itself down 3-zip at the 3:17 mark, and may look like a tough hole to climb out of, but these are, like I said, these are good athletes. They know each other, and you have good draw control. But we had a violation. Somebody stepped over the restraining line. That's the line. You can't see it so much. It's light blue, but it goes across the 30-yard line on the football field, and you can see it kind of on the hashes outside the line. But if the umps are trying to get the players set at the draw circle, and you step outside that restraining line, they're going to whistle you for violation, automatic possession for BG right there. And that hurts. You get down 3-0, you got to win that draw control. And instead, you have an unforced turnover. That is a terrific feed inside. Can't find the rope, but getting the rebound right there and then finding the rope is the very talented Jordan Gable, senior defender. She's at 5'3", 110. And again, I said she's all-state watch, and she's headed to Iona. And Jordan Gable takes a beautiful feed. Can't get the first one. I think it was a good save right there by the goalie, Cy. And Jordan Gable gets that rebound right there. And at 2:38, it is 4-0 Cardinals. And just when Coach Hodgson was hoping for that last draw control, what do? They had that violation. They turned it over. And those are the unforced errors that drive coaches bonkers. I will tell you that firsthand. I was also that guy who occasionally drove his coach bonkers. All right, nevertheless, at 2:38 remaining in the first, it's Bishop Girton 4, the visiting Bulldogs 0. All right, violation kick ball goes back to the Cardinals. Boy, that's 2 technicals in a row and possession for the Cardinals. They don't care. They got the rock. Keys, I tell you what. This time was a violation by BG. And back to Bedford it goes. So another group of fits and starts right there. But carrying the ball right now with some speed is Maddie Kiley. Friends with their parents. Her brothers, terrific lacrosse players on the boys' teams. And lighting it up for the Sacred Heart. That's Timmy. And Colgate, which is having himself a great season. Colgate Red Raiders taking care of business up there. A bunch of New Hampshire Tomahawks on that Colgate team. Oh, that's a good feed in tight. But the whistle, it went in the net, but the whistle occurred 2 beats before that shot was released. That said, you had that the shooting space inside, or excuse me, that was a check to the sphere, and it's going dead center here for the free possession, 1:30 on the clock. And this is lights out if you have a great first step. Oh, good job clogging it up by BG, but then a great recognition in traffic by Bedford. And it looked like Maddie Kiley got that ball. And beautiful pull-up, recognizing that the double was coming very quickly, and then a good feed. And then Kiley stepped into space just like that, caught it on the fly. And Bedford gets on the board. Finally, they really needed that, especially as we creep in toward our second quarter. And, in fact, it's 1:19 remaining in the first. Majorly important goal for Bedford. Yeah, you're still down 3, but you got the psychological thing out of the way. And you're able to relax and play ball here on enemy turf. All right, draw circle time. Here we go. One of my keys for BG was to pounce early, and they've done that. And here we go up top. Down to the ground we go, and a push in traffic right there. That was too quick a restart for the umpire right there. And the restart finally comes as we drift down to 1 minute. Bedford trailing 4-1, looking to cut that lead in half before our first quarter break. That would be huge if you're Coach Hodgson and the Bulldogs. All right, everybody high, below GLE. Again, that's goal line extended. The goal itself is 6x6. It's made of very heavy-duty iron, 6-millimeter twine in the back of the net. Oh, this was an unforced. It goes down to the deck, and BG is able to pick it up. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Stello Stadium. We had some technical difficulties right before that quarter wound up. You saw the video feed, had to restart it and a free possession at the 12-meter. Good effort by Bedford to climb the pocket from below GLE, get a good shot. But I tell you what, the goalie, Maddie Adair-Linnell, came out and forced a bad shot as Bedford wound out the period by missing. It's 4-1 after our first period on the strength of 4 straight Bishop Girton goals. And then with a $1:19 left in the first, Bedford, thanks to Maddie Kiley, was able to bury one and change their fortunes. And they started playing better after that. Nothing like a good goal from Kiley to get things, get your ship righted and get your kind of mojo back in action right there. Again, Rich McDonough with the highlight guy. For the highlight guy, my buddy Steve Cody. And while we get a chance, let's talk about Earth Tech Systems, which is a great sponsor of ours. They are a premier green heating and cooling technology company. Their goal is to save you time and money. They specialize in geothermal HVAC systems. So for your heating or cooling needs, contact the experts at earthtechsystems.com. No install or repair project is too challenging for the experts in green HVAC technology. Awesome sponsor of ours. We're grateful to you. One reason we can keep going. Think about advertising with the highlight guy as well. It helps us get out in the field and do ever more high school sports here in New Hampshire and even crossing the border to our south for possible Massachusetts and Rhode Island games. But here at Nashua, 12 minutes fresh for the second quarter, and it's 4-1 Bishop Girton between the number 5th ranked Bulldogs and the number 2 ranked Bishop Girton Cardinals. 6th in D1 standings are the Bulldogs. 4th in D1 standings are the Cardinals. And it's a very competitive upper, let's say, half of the D1 bracket. It's going to be competitive no matter what, but there are legitimately 6, 7, possibly even 8 teams fighting for that Final Four. Certainly it's a 9-team tournament. Just get in, take your shot, see what you can do. All right, another violation. We've had numerous violations at the draw circle today. This one goes on the Bulldogs. Abby Lynn picks it up. All right, Bishop Girton gets it below goal line extended. GLE, as you heard me say just a while ago. We'll do as much as we can for the nomenclature. Try to familiarize you with the scope of play. Oh, dropping it down to the turf. Tomasello, she gets it right back. But pretty good disruptive defense right there by the Bulldogs. Fading out is Tegan O'Connell, number 5 for the Bulldogs. She pressures right now. Yeah, O'Connell's job is to watch Mendel today. Mendel is a Mount Olive commit, senior attack and defender. Here goes starting the drive is Accomando. Brother Carter was an excellent football player, and Accomando DNA and athleticism runs in the family as Charlotte Accomando goes to the goal off a jab strap and a redodge and goes down the right side slot, puts it in the back of the net at 10:58 remaining in our second period. Only a minute and 2 seconds in, 12-minute quarters in girls lacrosse. BG, thanks to that beautiful drive by Accomando, makes it 5-1. Again, I said key to the game was for BG to pounce early and packing in on defense. They've done both. They probably watched that Kennebunk feed where Kennebunk took down the Bulldogs 10-5. Steve Cody, the highlight guy, and I got to call that game. It was a good scene up at the Bulldogs field, especially if we're the visitors from Maine. The Rams are well coached. A lot of maniac players in club ball out in the coastal Maine right there. I love listening to coaches on the sidelines help the referees. All right, good turn back by Carly Hodgson Rogers. She wears number 1, 3-sport athlete, field hockey and ice hockey, and of course lacrosse here today. You watch her athleticism. I was looking for it earlier. I was watching her warm up, and again, I saw her play against Kennebunk. That jab step of hers is Athleticism 101. That is a great cut, almost a great catch on the feed. But drawn the physical contact in tight. I think it was just too much contact by Accomando, who just scored that goal. And we're going to have a free position. They said it occurred way deep in the offensive zone inside that 8-meter arc. And so we have the free position. It's 5 yard. It's a 5-yard hash distance, and there's the first hash about the 5-yard line right there in the football field. Usually a good place to pass from, and that's exactly what they do. Feeding from behind the cage is a great thing. That is a terrific move, and going to the ground, unable to connect the shot and the dots right there. But Bedford backs up the ball, and again, if it's a shot, folks, the rule is whoever is closest to the shot at the second or the moment it goes out of bounds and the location it goes out of bounds, that's who gets possession of the ball. So you got to hustle and get to the ball location. Back in the day, it was just a run, who's first to the end line or the sideline. Ball location, be darned. Not so anymore, and it's an appropriate rule change. It's made the game better. All right, really good defense right there by Abby Lynn, and forcing a bad shot and then good check as the shot was released. Abby Lynn not only shows she's got offensive chops, but she can get it done playing defense. Got to be a two-way player these days, unless you're the short stick defender specialist type of player, obviously, or a goalie as I am. All right, 8:40 on the clock. It's BG up 5-1 with another possession, looking to create and extend their lead possibly to a 5-goal lead. BG a little deliberate right here, playing way high, 20 yards from the goal mouth right there. And they're just spinning around. Nobody's in the inside. Nobody's cutting just yet. But you watch, they'll get into some stacks, 3-person, 4-person rotations away from the ball, and they'll cut through the middle, and they'll pick for each other and pick away. Oh, good carry right there by Bella Dawson, but excellent defense, able to kind of disrupt the speed of that release, that high release right there. And Bedford's got to be pleased with that defensive series right there. Bella Dawson got herself a goal to make it 3-zip earlier, and she is warded off this time. Warding is a term of art in the men's game, but small W right here. All right, check up into the sphere right there. Stays with Bedford Bulldogs. Taking a hard hit right there is Molly Muir. And she stands almost exactly at the center dot right there where they take the face-off. She dishes it over to Mary Lenti. First-year player is number 21. She has the ball right now. She continues to go. Coach Hodgson said she's making an impact in her first year, and she draws a lot of contact right there inside the critical scoring area, and more importantly, inside that 8-meter. And she goes to the second hash to the left of center, and she has the ball. She has a great athletic first step. Pretty good closeout by the defense, and Abby Lynn forces the bad shot, gets the ball down to the turf, and back to BG it goes, and Adair Linnell is able to clear. Lots of space and speed right here for Jordan Gable. Fleet of foot is number 6. She has the ball, dishes it off to Dawson. Dawson goes below GLE, gets it over to Marcello, and she's looking to create from below. Frequently, you see the player below goal line extended, back at the X, which is the area we call below, behind the goal right there. Boy, that's a good cut in traffic. Quick by Charlotte Accomando, and a pretty good save or a block in tight. Accomando goes down to the turf. BG gets the ball off the turf, and back on O are the Cardinals. One of the keys was, for me, was BG's got to win, Bedford had to win that ground ball game, and so far BG's getting the better of them on that front. Again, it goes to possession. It's 9/10 of the law. Got to have the rock, or else you can't put it in the cage. 5:53 here at Mata Field, Stello Stadium on this beautiful day. You can see the light off the river behind us. Great setting for any game. All right, good pass in tight. Oh, a terrific handle by Abby Lynn with some great defense, but then Sai comes up with a good save. Sai was great. She kept her hips square to the shooter, did not get happy feet. She kept her poise. Now you get 10 seconds to get the ball out of the crease here if you're in girls or women's lacrosse. 4 if you're at men's or boys, 5 if you're at the little kids. Give them an extra beat. And size, in no hurry. There's no time limit. In the boys' game, a lot of people may have seen you get 20 seconds to get the ball over the center line, the midline. Oh, that one's playing the miss. I don't know what that stoppage was right there. I missed the ref call, umpire's call. Excuse me, folks. Trying to make out the numerals, and I couldn't. And this one just gets away. Bedford wasn't content with the first almost unforced error. They had to make it happen this time. 4:47 on the clock. Ball goes back to BG. Picking it up quickly is Sarah Brunel, the Endicott commit, and she gets contact from behind, and we got a whistle. Nope, call timeout. And that'd have to be Bishop Girton's first timeout. We're going to take 60 seconds while the ladies take 2 minutes, and we'll be back. See you on the other side. Rich McDonough with the Highlight Guy.
Hi, this is Deb Cody with the Dow Group at Keller Williams Coastal and Lakes and Mountains Realty. I have a passion for helping people, and I love to help people with their real estate goals, whether it's buying, selling, or investing. I'm licensed in New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Maine, and work with an incredible team, the Dow Group, which has been the #1 real estate team in New Hampshire for the past several years. Collectively, the team has sold over $1 billion worth of real estate in the past 20 years. If you're curious to know what the local market is like in your area, feel free to reach out via my website, deb.thedowgroup.com, and let's get connected.
Hi, this is Ryan from Earth Tech Systems in Harvard, Massachusetts, taking a look at the first step of our geothermal installation. Let's go check it out.
Meet Bouvier Prepare, your game changer in college athletics recruitment. We cut through the chaos, focusing on superb communication and top-notch organization. One-on-one attention, tailored strategies, and a winning game plan for emails, calls, camps, visits, and offer closings. Be prepared. Your limitless future starts now with Bouvier Prepare.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to the Highlight Guys presentation of NHIAA Division I Girls Lacrosse here at Stello Stadium in Nashua, New Hampshire. Once again, Rich McDonough along for the ride. 2 top teams who can contend any year you take the field. And in Division I, they know each other well. So far, Bishop Girton, the hosts, are treating their guests rudely. It's 5-1, pretty deep into our second quarter, 4:39 out of 12 and counting. We had a timeout on the field. That was the first by Bishop Girton. You get 2 in each half. And Bishop Girton probably dialed something up from Leslie Y., their excellent coach. Here we go. You got a little bit of a mini weave and a slip. Ooh, and that's a missed shot, but a close miss. Abby Lynn, they generated good looks. That's what it's about. I've said it on other broadcasts. Ball sports, whether it's basketball, lacrosse, that sort of thing, hockey, not a ball sport, puck sport, generate good looks and something's going in. That's good offense right there. But Accomando, she takes the pick, goes around. No switch up right there by the Bedford Bulldogs. And Accomando, with her second of the game, she's got 2 in a row. She has taken it from 4-1 to 6-1. This one occurs at 4:06 remaining in our second quarter. And Accomando shows that she's got some mojo, the sophomore midi, with lots of athletic prowess in her family. And she buries her second of the game, 6-1 for the Cardinals. And they certainly have their foot firmly on the accelerator. Hey, if you're looking to play ball in college, if yes, then let the Highlight Guy help you get noticed and recruited. We create highlight videos, film sporting events, and live stream, all with the goal of helping athletes get noticed by colleges. With the Highlight Guy, you are the star, so let us help you. Go to thehighlightguy.com or email steve@thehighlightguy to get started. Here we go back to the draw circle. BG up 5. This is an important possession and draw for Bedford. It's slipping away slowly, and you got to right the ship. They were able to get that goal right before the first quarter ended, and we got a whistle, and it looks like we're going to have a redraw. That's what happens when you see those crisscrossing arms over the top of your head from the umpire. And sometimes it's through no fault of the players. The ump might get the ball set not firmly in the backs of the crosses right there, and we got to have a redraw. Got to be fair, got to be still, and give each player a fighting chance 50-50 before the whistle blows, and certainly when the whistle blows. Then it's up to them. But draw control, one of the most important aspects of girls and women's lacrosse. All right, Jackie Driscoll gets them set. Ball goes straight up in the air. Favors Bishop Girton, and look who comes up with it. The speedy Jordan Gable shows why she's got those fast feet. And she got that last ground ball right before the quarter, that timeout ensued. And once she gets going, her speed, her agility takes over. Again, she's committed to Iona, all-state material again, and showing why she's one of the better athletes on this team. That's a good feed underneath and better defense. Nice job on defense right there by look. I couldn't tell. It looked like Kathleen De Silva. Again, the numerals for Bedford are very, very small. The font is very small, and dark red silhouette against the black uniforms is very difficult to read from this distance. But we got, looks like a 1 minute call. Couldn't tell. We'll get the call from Lisa Woodruff. She comes over to the bench side. All right, it was a dead ball. It was an after the shot push. So that'll be they're calling white possession, but they're threatening to go to the draw circle. Okay, there was some confusion right there. They ironed it out. That's good reffing. You talk it through when there's a difference of opinion and find out usually who's closer to the ball or had the better angle, whether it be from below the action or above. Back after that push, coming away with it is Abby Lynn on the restart. All right, Abby Lynn gets it inside, backs it out. She's 15 yards outside the goal mouth. 20. Oh, that's a great pick and slip right there. Good job. Ends up looking like a give and go. But you have a screen, no contact right there, so it's not an illegal screen. Contact has to occur for it to be an illegal screen or interference. Nothing doing right there. It's just good lacrosse by two seasoned players. Oh, that's a good ride right there by Tomasello, trying to force Bedford out and outside the sidelines. Looked like she might have done so, but we got to push. So Tomasello, a little push in the back, and off to the races we go. 2:25, Bedford's possession, trailing now 7-1. Very difficult position if you're the Bedford Bulldogs. All right, there's that weave defense in tight. Offense in tight. Bedford with a quick stick, goes over the line, and good race to the end line right there. 1:55 on the clock. Bedford really needs a great look and got to find the back of the twine on this possession. I really feel like they do. And we might get a card here. Not sure. Nope. Jackie Driscoll looked like she was reaching for a yellow card, but no dice. Push in tight, shooting space actually, and we're going to get a free possession. This will be 2 hash marks from dead center to the left. Bedford needs this shot right here. Good first step, gets underneath, and losing the ball as she tried to do a little bit of a toe drag right there. Unable to convert. That's a tough miscue right there. If you're the Bulldogs, back to BG we go. Looking to clear. We drift down toward the 1 minute mark. I really thought Mary Lenti was going to get herself in the back of the goal on that one, but just rolled out of the bottom of her cross as she tried that cool little move. The toe drag becoming really common at the youth levels of lacrosse. It's diabolical when done right. All right, we are below a minute. It's 45 and counting, 7-1 for Bishop Girton. Oh, that's a unfortunate passing error right there. Bedford turns it over, and BG turns it over. Bedford intercepts, and that is just what the doctor ordered. Can't get the free possession, and at 35 seconds remaining, Bedford gets back on the board, making it 7-2. Like I said, just 35 seconds remaining, however, and big goal right there. That's an unfortunate pass. You don't want to clear up the middle too often unless it's really deep, and for heaven's sake, if you go up the middle, don't miss. Hey, if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, Deb Cody from the Dow Group at Keller Williams Coastal is a luxury realtor. She's licensed in Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and can assist you with your real estate goals. The Dow Group is the #1 real estate team in New Hampshire, so contact Deb at 603-945-2763 or email deb@thedowgroup.com. All right, here we go. Probably the last draw of the first half. That's a good outright win right there by Maddie Kiley, the senior captain. She's got the ball right now, looking to create, trying to go through all kinds of traffic. That ought to mean somebody's open, finding it in tight, able to, almost was Tegan O'Donnell, gets dropped to the canvas, and Bishop Girton with 15 seconds left has an opportunity right here, and back on comes Gable. She of the Usain Bolt fleet feet, and that's a great feed inside. Tic-tac goal. Beautiful feed off the catch. The Gable release, coast to coast with the clear, and finding the cutting Bella Dawson. I believe that's Bella Dawson's third goal of the game. 8-2 after Bedford was able to shave down that lead a bit with only seconds remaining. Bishop Girton goes off to the races, coast to coast by Gable. She gives it up. Tic-tac goal, they call it. And it is 8-2 for the Cardinals, 4.9 remaining on the game clock here in our first half in our second quarter. That is backbreaking if you're wearing black. Holy cow, and we got to see firsthand, again, I just said she was fleet of foot. Jordan Gable looked like a track star on that run. Get her the football. All right, well, we got to go back to the draw circle. Unlike boys and men's, the women and girls can line up on the same side of the midfield line right there. This one goes down to the turf, and an exciting first half if you're wearing white. After one half here at Stello Stadium, Mata Field, it is the hometown Bishop Girton Cardinals 8 and the visiting Bedford Bulldogs 2. This is the Highlight Guys production of NHIAA D1 Sports and Girls D1 Lacrosse today. Rich McDonough along for the ride. We'll take 10 along with the ladies, and we will see you on the backside. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Meet Bouvier Prepare, your game changer in college athletics recruitment. We cut through the chaos, focusing on superb communication and top-notch organization. One-on-one attention, tailored strategies, and a winning game plan for emails, calls, camps, visits, and offer closings. Be prepared. Your limitless future starts now with Bouvier Prepare.
Hi, this is Deb Cody with the Dow Group at Keller Williams Coastal in Lakes and Mountains Realty. I have a passion for helping people, and I love to help people with their real estate goals, whether it's buying, selling, or investing. I'm licensed in New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Maine, and work with an incredible team, the Dow Group, which has been the #1 real estate team in New Hampshire for the past several years. Collectively, the team has sold over $1 billion worth of real estate in the past 20 years. If you're curious to know what the local market is like in your area, feel free to reach out via my website, deb.thedowgroup.com, and let's get connected.
Hi, this is Terry Queenan from Earth Tech Systems Geothermal. We're in Nashua, New Hampshire today. We just finished putting geothermal in this historical home built in 1937. Let's go in and check it out. We're now inside the house. These are the two well lines coming in. There's one 500-foot borehole. This is the piping. This is the flow center that moves the water to the geothermal unit, which is over here. This is a very simple, high-efficiency system made by Water Furnace. This is the return duct, and we have the unit in place here. This is the Water Furnace 7 series that's in this home. This is the return air filter. Those are the pipes coming from the non-pressurized flow center. The blower is on the top, the compressor's on the bottom. Very quiet machine. This is a storage tank that makes very warm water. The water goes from this point into an on-demand tankless when there's a call for showers, cooking, etc. So not only is the customer going to save an immense amount of money, they're going from about a $1,300 a year oil bill to be on target right now for about a $300 geothermal bill, and the well is directly under me. If you'd like to learn more, check us out on our website, earthtechsystems.com.
Are you looking to play sports in college? Almost every college recruiting website recommends having a highlight video as one of the top 3 crucial recruiting tools. In fact, 93% of college coaches we surveyed said they watch a recruit's highlight video as part of their player assessments. Our sole purpose is to make you look good. Our highlight videos include an athlete bio and accolade page, stop motion, and player highlight. The video is not done until you are completely satisfied and say it's done. We also upload to YouTube or whatever recruiting platform you use. The highlight guy can also film your high school or club games to capture you in action, resulting in amazing footage that you can use to help create your highlight video. We have the expertise to help you get recruited. Check out our website at thehighlightguy.com or contact Steve at thehighlightguy.com to get started on your path to playing sports in college.
Hi, this is Ryan from Earth Tech Systems in Harvard, Massachusetts, taking a look at the first step of our geothermal installation. Let's go check it out.
And welcome back, everybody, to Stello Stadium in Nashua, New Hampshire. They call it Mata Field. The brand newly resurfaced Mata Field with fresh turf. This is Rich McDonough with the highlight guy, Steve Cody. We are bringing you NHIAA D1 girls lacrosse today, and it's been all Cardinals, really, hosting Bedford, the number 6 ranked team. Cardinals are number 4, and in the standings, that is, number 2 in the state poll, done by my buddy Joe Marcellena. And it is 8-2 Cardinals. They got off to a 4-zip lead hot in the first quarter. Bedford was able to squeeze one out thanks to the Bucknell-bound Maddie Kiley, and they made it 4-1. BG returned the favor, running it up to 7-1 very quickly, and then it was 7-2 and 8-2 to close it out. Important note is that for BG, Abby Lynn, all NH player, all New Hampshire player, she got herself the first 2 goals of the game and then got another one later. And then joining her in the hat trick department was Bella Dawson. She closed out the scoring last right before the period ended, 4 seconds before the period ended, on a beautiful run by Jordan Gable going coast to coast, basically a punt return style of touchdown, and coast to coast were clear, and Gable showed the absolute wheels right there. Beautiful pass down the right slot, and found Maddie Mendel, who delivered a BB of a pass to the cutting Bella Dawson for her Hattie. Great period, great first half by Bishop Gurdon. Again, it's 8-2, and here we go for the second half, our third quarter here at Mata Field. Again, Rich McDonough, the highlight guy. Happy to be with you, folks. So much fun bringing NHIAA D1 sports to all our friends in New Hampshire. Got a crowd scene up here in the booth here at Stellos. We got a joint broadcast between Nashua ETV and Bedford Community Television. My buddies at Nashua TV, Pete Johnson, Tom King, John Collins, and Tim O'Neill down the way. And it has gone to about 100 degrees here in what I call the microwave. That's the press box at Stello Stadium. All right, but the action's hot down on the field right now. Big physical contact right at the 8-meter arc right there. So Bedford is going to get itself a free possession to start. Oh, they say it occurred just outside that 8-meter. Well, can't argue with the refs anymore. It's going to the 12-meter fan, and Bedford probably is going to look for a passing play right here and get things going. Good possessions, important right here to get things started for Coach Hodgson. Get some kind of rhythm as you enter the second half, down 6 goals to a hot team in BG. Again, they've only lost 1 game, and that was to the out-of-state Westwood Power down in Massachusetts. All right, Bedford deliberately below GLE. Again, that's a goal line extended. Oh, that's a pretty good drive right there by Kiley, but it goes down. She's trying to get that mid-release point, and there's a lot of checking going on. It looks like they cracked her right on the knuckles. Nope. Going the other way, interference, and it's a rarely called right there. That is a dangerous shot. So what you can't do in girls and women's lacrosse, because there are no buckets on the heads, i.e. helmets, you can't take just a speed burner of a shot with a huge follow through, because we're worried about player safety and the exposed heads. All these girls are doing is wearing goggles down there, unlike the boys and men's game where you can take a 100-mile-an-hour shot, and if it hits you in the face mask, yeah, you'll hear your ear ringing for a couple of seconds. I'm a goalie, I know those things, and probably explain some of my IQ issues as I get along in life. All right, but back to BG we go. 10:14 on the clock, and yet another offensive possession for Callie Santos led BG. I said Leslie Y, my bad, folks. My buddy Chris Cameron just let me know that my notes were old. I knew that, and I just didn't make the switch when I reran the rosters from last year. I'm so sorry, folks. Callie Santos getting it done. Leslie Y as an assistant. They made that change affirmatively, and clearly this season with BG reloading and rebuilding, they're doing some great work. Taking a hard shot right to the face with Sarah Brunel. Again, she's committed to Endicott. Number 2 out there, she loses her goggles on that play, and yeah, we're going to have a card of some variety. Can't wait to see what the call is. It was up in the head shooting sphere. Again, you've got a couple of inches, maybe 3 or 4 inches around the head of a player, and you can't check into that sphere. For the same reason you can't have that dangerous follow-through. It's a safety issue, and it's the right rule. All right, but Brunel, center hash mark right there. Again, that's 8 meters out from the cage, and she has all that athleticism going for her. We'll see her first step and see how far she gets inside. She does get inside tack, and then nice step outside. Irene Tsai gets square. That is good technical goaltending. She saw where the stick was. She matched sticks and kept her hips square to the shooter. Good job, goalie. And again, as we saw in that dynamite save she had in the second quarter, Irene Tsai, she matches sticks well, and she doesn't get happy feet. Yip-free goaltending, I like calling it, borrowing cue from the golfing community. All right, clearing is a problem for Bedford on this day here, and that's a BTB. It hits the, wow. Sarah Brunel looking to create with the behind the back. Holy B2B, Batman. And she comes off the field, and Tsai made yet another good save, and Brunel has to step off the field. Yeah, equipment issue right there for Brunel. And the ref's trying to sort things out one more time. And, of course, that goes to Bedford. It's another terrific save by Tsai. Again, one of these multi-sport athletes for Bedford. She plays 3 of them, field hockey, ice hockey, and lax. And she has had 2 dynamic saves in a row to keep her team in the game. They're only down 6. It could be 8 or 10 if it weren't for some terrific save by the junior goalkeeper. All right, Bedford maintains the ball. They've got to clear here. Got to get your spaces a little better, right? But BG is awesome at squeezing and freezing that ball, running that trap, and this time Bedford's able to get it to Maddie Kiley. Fleet of foot, Maddie Kiley. No shortage of lax DNA in that family. Holy cow, and a quick stick we go in tight off the pass from Kiley. Unable to dump that in the goal was O'Donnell. But a great look at it by Bedford. All right, I think we're getting a free possession here. 7:46 on the clock. Bedford just down 6. Could use this one in the worst way, like desert needs the rain. All right, we're 1 hash to left to center. And we'll see how fast. BG has been very good at getting the step and squeezing out the drive. And that is Adair Linnell. She gets down low and mean. Good job by the Sacred Heart-bound goalkeeper. And number 88, I've been watching her for years. She's got the chops between the pipes. Great job by Linnell. But just as much credit to BG getting that squeeze in tight off the free possession and that whistle. And they had the first step, and they quickly bracketed the shooter and forced her into an awkward shooting position. Adair Linnell had to read it and get down low. Good job all around if you're wearing white. All right, Liddell, she's got her riding player hung up briefly, and she cuts back under, draws contact, and a whistle briefly. That is savvy play. Good IQ by Maddie Adair Linnell. Knowing the contact and the check was coming, she ducks underneath it, takes it to the upper body area, and then we get a restart. 6:23 on the clock. Seems like this clear is taking forever. Finally, they get the nice spacing right there and able to get it over midfield to Sydney Brophy, another of the 8 BG Cardinals on the All-State watch list. Very talented team under Callie Santos, who lost some graduation talent last season and reloaded and rebuilding this Cardinals offensive juggernaut. Again, they are averaging 12 goals, just under 12 goals a game coming in. And they were only able to crank out 7 against Westwood. So their New Hampshire numbers are pretty darn big. And this is a team to be reckoned with. We'll see We'll see if they do what they're supposed to do, but this is a Final Four talented team. All right, getting out started right there. That's Accomando again. She's wearing number 14. She backs it out. Good retreat step right there. Get some space. Create. Here comes Tomasello. She rotates it back through, and then finding its way. Seeing eye ball gets across the entire lower part of the offense and out, and tracking it down was Accomando. All right, BG deep at X right there. Again, X is that area below the goal or behind the goal area where people like to create, get their defenders hung up, crisscrossed up in the crease, or just hung up outside, not knowing where to go, and then you have to draw a slide, some help, and frequently you re-go back the other way and you find some green space. All right, here comes Bella Dawson with that hat trick. She's got the ball, puts it back in her left, takes a swat at it. Well defended right there by Bedford. Here comes a ground ball, huge ground ball in traffic. Bedford off to the races, 4:33 on the clock here in the third quarter, and looking to create. All right, Jordan Gable was able to close ranks in a hurry right there. She pretty much can outrun anybody in D1. And we've seen Portsmouth twice now. JoJo Curro's got things rolling out in the coast, and we were able to see them also, in addition to playing Hollis Brookline, good team in D2. They had a great game that we covered at Pinkerton Academy. Another Highlight Guy production. All right, 3:49 on the clock. Working a little two-player game below GLE right now. You try to pick the lock on one side, doesn't work. Try to pick the lock on the other. Bulldogs way high in the formation, a little bit of a crisscross. Oh, looking for that feed of the Cutters. Unable to get it there. 3:30 goes down to the turf, and Adair Linnell picks it up between the pipes and starts the clear for BG. With some good speed comes Marziano. She's committed to Bama Huntsville. She redirects to her line mate right there, Lindsay Rodel. She's another commit going to Muhlenberg and an all-state watch list candidate as well. All right, Bishop Girton trying out its next possession. This is about their fourth possession here in the third quarter. Little bit slower moving here in the fourth for both teams. Ooh, that's a big hit in traffic right there. Well, we got a quick break. Stay up to date with all the Highlight Guys' upcoming live stream. Subscribe to our YouTube channel today and never miss out on the games you want to see. Just go to YouTube, search the Highlight Guy, and hit subscribe. We certainly thank you in advance. All right, here comes Abby Lynn, dead center. The Endicott-bound senior with that great first step. Let's see how many yards she can put between her and the defense quickly. Irene Tsai in the cage takes a good long look at it. She's camped out way high to cut down that angle. She's got that hockey background. She understands those angles. All right, Abby Lynn cranks it up, goes righty, goes high to low. Tsai had no chance with that. And at the 2:06 mark, we get a stoppage because BG goes up 9-2 here in our third quarter. Again, Abby Lynn, 2:06, free possession goal, huge for number 3. And huge for us is EarthTech Systems, a great sponsor, premier provider of heat pump technology with a strong specialization in geothermal HVAC. By championing energy efficiency and sustainability, their innovative solutions not only prioritize environmental benefits, but also help customers save significantly on energy costs. Whether you're considering a new heat pump or need repairs, their skilled team is ready to handle even the most complex projects. So go and learn more about their cutting-edge designs and unmatched expertise at earthtechsystems.com. We have a redraw coming, all-important redraw. Again, frequently it's not the player's fault. Things just get loose and jittery, and the ref, the ump, properly gives the crisscross, wave it off signal, and redraw. 2:04, it stays on the clock, just a couple seconds chopped down. I think we're going to do it again. Or we have violation. Can't tell. It looks like Abby Lynn and Kylie are going to redraw. So third trip in 30 seconds. They know each other well. They know each other well anyway. Kylie's significant presence at BG with the boys lacrosse, and Maddie Kylie just a champ at Bedford. And I went to Fairfield with Mrs. Kylie. We were in the same class together, didn't meet each other until we were in the stands at Bishop Girton lacrosse. How about that? All right, Bishop Girton finally gets control of this draw, and at 1:45 they go back on the offensive third, looking to create and holding a 7-goal lead with a count of 9-2. Quickly comes Brunel. She takes the ball, thinks better of it as she does a mini sweep across the top side and gets it back to Bella Dawson. Bella Dawson has 4 markers today, having a great game. Talented junior attacker. BG will be in no hurry here as the third period winds down and the commanding 7-goal lead. Again, it could be as much as 10 or maybe even 11 if it weren't for some seriously excellent saves by Irene Sy between the pipes. That's a good feed and tight. Able to handle that is Jordan Gable. She takes momentary contact, doesn't phase her. She's going to Iona and buries another one in the back of the net. And we are just one tick under a minute here, 59 and change. And up 10-2 now are the Bishop Girton Cardinals, and kind of looking to put their foot on the gas and pull away. All right, we'll go back to the draw, but while we do, let's talk about Bouvier Prepare. Friends of ours, they provide comprehensive college recruiting consulting services for student athletes and families. If you're looking for guidance in the process for lacrosse, field hockey, soccer, and volleyball, Bouvier Prepare can provide a personalized plan for success. So contact them at bouvierprepare@gmail or 603-465-1102. Thank you to Leslie, friend of mine, and doing great work for young people who are looking to get up into the next level and understand the lay of the land. Good job, Leslie. All right, back. Good job at the draw circle. BG has it, and here comes Abby Lynn one more time. Tell you, if you're Bedford, you're sick of seeing number 3 with a head of steam. 44 seconds on the clock, 10-2, 8-goal lead for the BG Cardinals over their arch rival Bedford Bulldogs from 2 towns up. And I think that's an interference call right there. Off ball, illegal contact right there. Just like basketball, you can't set a moving screen. Lacrosse, you can be completely still. Can't have your stick in a crisscross position. And contact actually has to occur. Just because you're somewhere in the way is meaningless. All right, this one turnover, out of bounds, rolls off the cross of Bedford and over the back line. As we're exiting the third quarter, it's going to be 10-2 Cardinals. And if you like what you're seeing or hearing, or both, with our live stream, and you think you'd like to advertise with the Highlight Guy or just want more information, go ahead and contact Steve at thehighlightguy.com. All one word, no hyphens, no dots, except for the .com part. Well, it's 10-2 after 3 here at Mata Field and Stello Stadium. The young ladies are going to take a 2-minute break. We're going to do the same. This is Rich McDonough for the Highlight Guy. Look at him up at thehighlightguy.com. Hey, welcome back, everybody, from our third to fourth quarter break. Rich McDonough, the Highlight Guys production of NHIAA D1 Girls Lacrosse here. Well known to each other, rivals, Bishop Girton hosting the Bedford Bulldogs, and Bishop Girton Cardinals have been in control throughout this game. Consequently, it is 10-2 as we enter the fourth quarter. Some really good play at both ends of the field for Bishop Girton, and keys to this have been Abby Lynn and Bella Dawson, both at least having hat tricks. Dawson with the 4-goal output today, but just as instrumental inside has been Tomasello, yet another one of the 8 all New Hampshire players on, well, at least on the watch list, preseason watch list for all New Hampshire, and she's been able to ball control, create from below X and even on the wing. And then unsung hero today is Jordan Gable with that ridiculous foot speed, and she is a one-person clear in the making. Get it to number 6, and, you know, your fortunes will change because you will have possession in your attacking third. All right, but here we go to the draw control as we enter the fourth quarter. 12 minutes on the clock, fresh 12, and an 8-goal deficit for the Bulldogs. They've got to change their fortunes and change them in a hurry. But you want to go quickly, but don't hurry, as a great football coach once said. That said, you have to have good possessions that generate good looks at the cage. That's what Bedford has to do right now, but it all starts by winning the ball here at the draw circle. Once again, you see Lynn and Kylie going head-to-head. Jackie Driscoll gets the ball set. No yips this time, and the battle of number 3s is on. Oh, and a big dive for it to pick it up. Bedford, there was no push right there, but it was just an athletic dive. Good job getting it off the turf by the Bulldogs. And here they go with a chance to create. Everybody trailing right now. That's a good opportunity for Kylie. She goes in, buries it. She drives the far and shoots the left side right there as she went a little bit of a sweep from island to island. The island are those two kind of imaginary circles or areas just outside north of the crease. And Kylie flexes and shows why she's headed to Bucknell, folks. That was a great move off the draw and getting the ground ball, that 50-50 ball that ensued. And Bedford cuts the lead down by 1. It's 10-3, only 20 seconds into our fourth quarter. Huge moment if you're wearing black, because you get a little bit of mojo back. And, you know, you can't do anything without the rock. Kylie took matters into her own hand right there. You know, players like Kylie, knows what she's doing, has an athletic background. You're never out of it unless you're 10 or 12 goals down, but chip away. It's death by paper cut and keep it going. All right, but she gives Abby Lynn a nice little shove in the back right there, gets a quick restart. The seasoned Abby Lynn knows exactly when you're allowed to restart. Don't wait for the D to catch up. The umps have to put you back in a position to get things going immediately. Oh, that's a good take across the top. Oh, nice job by Maddie Mendel, and then a good save by Cy one more time. All right, looked like a push in tight, so we got a free possession going out to the 12-meter mark. Oh, it was outside that inner arc area right there. You see it's kind of like pie-shaped, and she was outside the bottom of that pie-shaped configuration. So out to the 12-meter we go. 10:40 on the clock. Oh, that was a good jab step right there. Oh, what a take by Maddie Mendel. Wow. The Mount Olive-bound senior started left. It looked like she was going to do a topside sweep. Had that mean jab step, turned it into a split, and got underneath her defender and then put it in the far side upper corner. Beautiful take by Maddie Mendel, and it makes it 11-3 at the 10:32 mark. I tell you, 3 times Bedford has been able to shave the lead down here. They made it 4-1 at one point. What happened with BG? They went on a 3-goal run. Bedford got it to 7-2. What did BG do? They went on a 3-goal run. And they made it 10-3 here in the fourth. And Mendel starts another run. If you're wearing white, that's what you want. If you're wearing black, get this draw control, set up your O, and go again. Back to an 8-goal lead. 10:32 left in this fourth quarter. Taking that sweet time to get things set up here. Yet another battle between college-bound seniors, and there is the speedy Gable picking up the ball and getting it down. The human clear, the one-person clear. Always good to have one or two of those players in your arsenal. All right, BG on yet another possession, 10-12 and counting. Up 8 and looking to control more. That was good recovery defense right there, in tight, inside that 8-meter arc right there by Bedford. Got it to the ground, and Irene Sy in the cage, in the crease there, is able to pick that up and start a clear for Bedford. All right, carrying it quickly is Peyton Boldock. She takes contact right there to the wrist, and ref's got to call that. This one is way too high off the stick of Boldock. Nobody can grow 20 feet that quickly, and unforced error goes out of bounds, and back to the Cardinals we go. Looking to clear things out, and Maddie Adair Linnell is able to start that thing off, get it up, get it over the far side, get your spacing, and go. And that's exactly what the Cardinals did. Right side was all clogged up. Quickly move it across field. Take your chances on the opposite side of the field. Keep your spacing, keep the ball hot. All right, here come possession for the Cardinals. Up 8, looking to go up 9. Oh, and yet another underneath move right there by the previous goal scorer, Mendel. This one kind of falls harmlessly to the turf and trickles into the crease. And the good goalie, Irene Sy, is able to get a hold of that, get it in her bucket, and get it out and get it up the field. Good job. Physical on this clear right there. And taking some punishment up top into the goggles. That's Mary Lenti. We've called her, she's a first-year player, and I talked to Coach Hodgson, and this is the rebuild and reload mid-season philosophy. She's another first-year player for her, a bunch of them on the field for Coach, and she's showing that she's got talent galore, and she's going to be a player to be reckoned with for years with this Bulldog team. They've got possession, 8:10 on the clock, trailing by 8, and got to create. Kylie with the take and gets doubled in a hurry. Big physical contact right there. And Jackie Driscoll has no choice but to blow the whistle right there. And we're going to have a free possession, but one hash to the bottom of the last hash on the 8-meter right there. Be interesting to see how quickly BG gets out of the gates right here and frames out the ball carrier. Good first step by Bedford. Boom, that's going back of the net. Unless there was a push, they've already ruled a good goal. That was a terrific take. 7:27, and Bedford cuts it to 11-4 now. 7:27 left. We'll see what happens, folks. Nothing's impossible. Keep hacking away at it. Get yourself back in the game. And if you need to get in the game, call EarthTech Systems. They're a local premier green heating and cooling technology, and we got a dead ball call right there. We'll sort that out in a second. Their goal is to save you time and money. They specialize in we got a violation and a static restart right there, so we'll wait. EarthTech, we love you. We're going to get you in there. Didn't expect that. We thought we were going to the draw circle. All right, it's 11-4, 7:18 on the clock. Bedford looking to create off that unforced turnover. Little after the whistle introductions, I guess. Oh, and that one just gets down to the turf. Pretty good defensive job right there. BG comes up with it in traffic. Ooh, a hard carry out there by Sydney Brophy. Yet another one of those all-staters in the making. And this ball trickles all the way down the far sidelines. And BG's able to run that down. Yeah, who? Jordan Gable. All right, 6:45 on the clock. BG up by 7 now. Time is on their side, as the Rolling Stone said. Probably could hear it off camera. Steve Cody doing everything for us. Running the business, spinning the dials, editing, videoing the game, selling advertising. He's the man. Good to be with you, Steve. All right, we got a whistle. I think we're going to have a free possession here. Yeah, up in the sphere again. All right, and this time starting out with the ball is Accomando, and she is 1 hash just outside that 8-meter. Good first step by Accomando. Goes up tall, the tall Accomando, and Irene Tsai comes up out of her crouch. Looked like she got a piece of that and deflected it off the crossbar. Good job by the goaltender. Oh, nice spacing and good passing, and unable to hang on to it at the Bedford Bulldogs. And a major hard check right there by Gable. She understands it, didn't even balk. She's got to get right back into defense, but she has to start from behind the player she fouled. 5:28. If you're Bedford, you got to do something on this possession right here, or else you're still down 7 with time ticking away and quickly. Oh, great move by Kylie, taking all the heat in the world from Abby Lynn. And Kylie draws the penalty, the foul, and she'll go to the arc. 1 hash to the left of center. Again, 8 meters out. Up, she's going dead center. Excuse me. She started out 1 hash to the left. Our umpire corrected that. And I think with her athleticism, just don't blink your eye. She's going right to the rack. She's already got the ball loaded and ready to shoot. Good first step. She gets up, gets some space. Oh! And she got the ball picked. It dropped out of her cross as she made the move. This time she gets it in wheels, does a 180 in traffic, catches the ball, gets it up high, and goes high to mid. That's a goal for number 3. And at 4:31 and counting here in our third, it is 11-5 now. 11-5 now. Yep, 6-goal lead. 4:31 left on the clock. There's a timeout on the field. Before we take our timeout, let's get Earthtech Systems back in the loop. They're our local premier green heating and cooling technology company. Their goal is to save you time and money. They specialize in geothermal HVAC systems. So, for your heating or cooling needs, contact the experts at earthtechsystems.com. No install or repair project is too challenging for the experts in green HVAC technology. And hey, are you looking to play sports in college? A lot of us were. I was 1,000 years ago, and I didn't have the highlight guy and Steve Cody to help me out. It was all coaches finding me in the newspapers. So if you want to get recruited now, so let the highlight guy help you get noticed and recruited. We create highlight videos, film sporting events, and live stream, all with the goal of helping athletes get noticed by colleges. So with the highlight guy, you are the star. Let us help you. Go to thehighlightguy.com or email Steve at thehighlightguy.com to get started. I tell you, 1,000 years ago when I was getting recruited by Georgetown and Virginia and Princeton, I wish I'd had the highlight guy, but I didn't. It was all about the press and how many letters you could write and how many times you could pick up the phone and how many times your sister would take down the message from the coach that called. All right, those were good days. All right, but here we're at Mata Field, Stello Stadium. It is getting toasty up here in the microwave oven at Nashua as the sun has changed angles and is beaten down right directly on the bottom. I think part of the problem is, Steve Cody, while the stadium was being renovated, they also managed to wash the windows. So we're getting the full anvil of the sun, as they said in Lawrence of Arabia. And it's getting hot up here. All right, but good action down on the field. 4:31 remaining after that last goal by the Bulldogs. It's 11-5, so they've shaved that lead down to 6. It was 8 goals just a few minutes ago, and a pair of number 3s are going back to the dot in the form of Abby Lynn for Bishop Girton and Maddie Kiley. Abby Lynn's a junior. Kylie is a senior captain for the Bulldogs. Has done great work all through her career in Bedford. All right, and again, they line up on the same side. You're allowed to in girls lacrosse, unlike boys lacrosse. All right, this one, instant draw. Good job by Abby Lynn, but it looked like it took a weird hop off the top of her cross, and it skipped to the bottom side of that circle, and Bedford was right there, and they pick it up with no interference and no defense from BG. They're back on offense, 4:11 on the clock. And again, every possession is incredibly valuable if you're wearing black today. This is a good one-on-one look right here. Some good defense being applied. Oh, nice job. And again, more good defense by Sydney Brophy. Maybe too much contact. Yeah, she draws a whistle right there from the ref, Lisa Woodruff. And we got a whistle, and we're going to the free possession. Free pose, I like to call it. All right, big opportunity if you're wearing if you're Bedford. You get the clock stopped briefly, going low to low and missing wide. Wow. And I tell you what, I think Maddie Adair Linnell between the pipes, she was ready for that. Her blade was down to the turf, and she'd already moved to the opposite pipe. And she comes up outside, active goaltender she is, and gets in the way and disrupts that pass to the X behind the crease right there. Good job by number 88. Again, she's headed for Sacred Heart, and showing that she's got multiple disciplines to her game. She's active in the field in the clear. She's active on defense. You can hear her barking out commands. Nice move. What a beautiful jab step right there. Holy cow. Maddie Kiley. And she draws the contact right up into the sphere right there. And she's got the ball at the last the last hash mark on that 8 meter. 2:39 on the clock. She's got to create right here. I mean, this is a must opportunity. And BG, they've been very good at this all day. They commit another foul right there. So it'll go back to the same exact hash mark that took 7 seconds off the clock and counting. Oh, and good low-to-low shot, but I tell you what, Adair Linnell was all over that. You had both BG defenders crisscrossing up high, which made the shot, which forced Kiley to go down low and go low-to-low. Couldn't change planes with that talented defense and squeezing her, bracketing her north and south as she went toward the goal. Good job by the BG defenders to lock in and understand what the play should be and how they should force the low shot, and then the goalie reading what the defenders were doing. I know they practiced that, but it's different when it all hits the field. Good job by the Cardinals. Oh, and that's a nice catch. And you got off-ball interference right there, 135 and counting. Yeah, and we're going to go free possession. All right, BG, one hash to the left. Oh, it's a good pass in tight, and they finally, nice feed. Jordan Gable's been feeding everybody else all day. Great feed to number 6 right there, and that's probably the dagger. That'll make it 12-5 at the 118 mark, and Gable gets herself her second of the day. And she's been playing wonderful lacrosse all day long and gets another reward. She's been feeding people, clearing the ball by herself. And, hey, before we hit the end of the fourth quarter here, if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, Deb Cody from the Dow Group at Keller Williams Coastal is a luxury realtor. She's licensed in Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and she can assist you with your real estate goals. The Dow Group is the #1 real estate team in New Hampshire. Contact Deb at 603-945-2763 or email deb@thedowgroup.com. All right, Kiley with another win. And look at the closing speed. Look at the closing speed of Jordan Gable. Yeah, lots of physical contact right there at the 8-meter line as the ball drifts out of bounds. But Gable, with that closing speed, able to fend off the D1 bound Maddie Kiley. And it'll be out at the 12-meter. Hadn't quite crept into the 8-meter arc area. Nice pass inside. Pretty decent take, but, yep. shooting space violation. You can't step into a player's shooting space. Again, safety issue. You know, it's a good to eat if you're playing boys or men's lacrosse, but no helmets. So we got to protect our players. Oh, high to high, easy. Didn't even have to move was Maddie Adair-Linnell. That'll probably wind out her save day. She's had herself a good game for her part. So was Irene Sott. Hey, looking out. If you're Bedford Bulldogs, you play Concord on the 5th. Reading Memorial, another out-of-state game on May 8th. And the day after that, they're playing West on May 9th. And if you're BG, Salem on May 5th, got to like that, Cinco de Mayo, playing Winnicott on the 6th. And then big tilt on a doubleheader here at Stellos will be Moses Brown coming in from Rhode Island. And that should be a fun game to watch. I'll be on the call for maybe joint production, but certainly for Nashua ETV, might be the highlight guy. But this is a great game here between two top teams. It is Bishop Girton get the better of the visiting Bedford Bulldogs by a score of 12-5 at Stellos Stadium and Mata Field here in Nashua, New Hampshire. Tell you what, it's always fun to work with my buddy Steve Cody, the highlight guy. Go to thehighlightguy.com, visit our highlight guy page on YouTube, and hit subscribe. That allows us to get deeper and better out into the field and bring you NHIAA action of all kinds. Again, this is Rich McDonough. I was so happy to be with you at Stellos. We're going to see if we can get a quick interview with Callie Santos, the head coach for Bishop Girton. And stay tuned. If we don't get to you, I'm so happy to be here with you, everybody. And we'll see you down the road.
Hi, this is Terry Queenan from Earth Tech Systems Geothermal. We're in Nashua, New Hampshire today. We just finished putting geothermal in this historical home built in 1937. Let's go in and check it out. We're now inside the house. These are the two well lines coming in. There's one 500-foot borehole. This is the piping. This is the flow center that moves the water to the geothermal unit, which is over here. This is a very simple, high-efficiency system made by Water Furnace. This is the return duct, and we have the unit in place here. This is the Water Furnace 7 series that's in this home. This is the return air filter. Those are the pipes coming from the non-pressurized flow center. The blower is on the top, the compressor's on the bottom. Very quiet machine. This is a storage tank that makes very warm water. The water goes from this point into an on-demand tankless when there's a call for showers, cooking, etc. So not only is the customer going to save an immense amount of money, they're going from about a $1,300 a year oil bill to be on target right now for about a $300 geothermal bill, and the well is directly under me. If you'd like to learn more, check us out on our website, earthtechsystems.com.
Meet Bouvier Prepare, your game changer in college athletics recruitment. We cut through the chaos, focusing on superb communication and top-notch organization. One-on-one attention, tailored strategies, and a winning game plan for emails, calls, camps, visits, and offer closings. Be prepared. Your limitless future starts now with Bouvier Prepare.
Hi, this is Deb Cody with the Dow Group at Keller Williams Coastal in Lakes and Mountains Realty. I have a passion for helping people, and I love to help people with their real estate goals, whether it's buying, selling, or investing. I'm licensed in New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Maine, and work with an incredible team, the Dow Group, which has been the #1 real estate team in New Hampshire for the past several years. Collectively, the team has sold over $1 billion worth of real estate in the past 20 years. If you're curious to know what the local market is like in your area, feel free to reach out via my website, deb.thedowgroup.com, and let's get connected.
Are you looking to play sports in college? Almost every college recruiting website recommends having a highlight video as one of the top 3 crucial recruiting tools. In fact, 93% of college coaches we surveyed said they watch a recruit's highlight video as part of their player assessments. Our sole purpose is to make you look good. Our highlight videos include an athlete bio and accolade page, stop motion, and player highlight. The video is not done until you are completely satisfied and say it's done. We also upload to YouTube or whatever recruiting platform you use. The highlight guy can also film your high school or club games to capture you in action, resulting in amazing footage that you can use to help create your highlight video. We have the expertise to help you get recruited. Check out our website at thehighlightguy.com or contact Steve at thehighlightguy.com to get started on your path to playing sports in college.
Hi, this is Terry Queenan from Earth Tech Systems Geothermal. We're in Nashua, New Hampshire today. We just finished putting geothermal in this historical home built in 1937. Let's go in and check it out. We're now inside the house. These are the 2 well lines coming in. There's one 500-foot borehole. This is the piping. This is the flow center that moves the water to the geothermal unit, which is over here. This is a very simple, high-efficiency system made by Water Furnace. This is the return duct, and we have the unit in place here. This is the Water Furnace 7 series that's in this home. This is the return air filter. Those are the pipes coming from the non-pressurized flow center. The blower is on the top, the compressor's on the bottom. Very quiet machine. This is a storage tank that makes very warm water. The water goes from this point into an on-demand tankless when there's a call for showers, cooking, etc. So not only is the customer going to save an immense amount of money, they're going from about a $1,300 a year oil bill to be on target right now for about a $300 geothermal bill, and the well is directly under me. If you'd like to learn more, check us out on our website, earthtechsystems.com.
Meet Bouvier Prepare, your game changer in college athletics recruitment. We cut through the chaos, focusing on superb communication and top-notch organization. One-on-one attention, tailored strategies, and a winning game plan for emails, calls, camps, visits, and offer closings. Be prepared. Your limitless future starts now with Bouvier Prepare.
Hey, everybody, for the highlightguy.com and our presentation of NHIAA D1 Girls Lacrosse today, it was Bishop hosting the Bedford Cardinals and taking care of business. I'm Rich McDonough. I am here with head coach Callie Santos, and you got to feel good after that one. Hot day, vacation week, you wonder how people are going to be, and I've coached forever, as we discussed, and there's always rust at the end of the week. So what do you think about their performance today?
I think our kids did great. I think the energy was one of our critical game, making sure that we had energy from the first to last whistle, and I think from the kids that were on the field to our bench, everyone stepped up to the plate and did a great job.
Amen to that. And as a goalie coach, I've got to get between the pipes. Maddie, we just heard you talking to Joe about it. She, her IQ, in my opinion, I'm a goalie, so I got to say you got to have great IQ. I see her more active in the clear and then barking out commands, and that is when a goalie becomes more than just a ball stopper, but a field general. Totally. Do you agree?
I completely agree.
And what does it do for the rest of the team?
It puts a lot of confidence in our defensive end with Maddie communicating and making sure that she's stepping up in all the different ways. And as a captain, she knows what her role is, and she really has stepped into it throughout this year.
All right. One thing is missing. I get to coach both Dumont twins.
Yes.
How's Lola?
She's doing good.
Okay.
She's on the road to recovery, and we're hoping to have her back as soon as her body will allow, and we'll go from there.
I mean, that's a terrific player. She's already a terrific player, but
100%.
who knows?
She's quarterbacking on the sideline as well. She's communicating for us. She's making sure that she's helping out and doing everything that she possibly can to stay involved.
And you can see Coach Mike Keys pounce early.
Yeah.
I called the Kennebunk at Bedford game, and Kennebunk pounced early, and they packed it in. So you pounced early. Was that the game plan, and do you feel good about it?
Yeah, I think we love to step into every game and focus on winning the first 5 minutes and making sure that we're competing from the first whistle with a lot of energy and a lot of enthusiasm. So I definitely think that was part of the game plan, but really it's just about composure and focusing throughout the year.
Offensively, Abby Lynn and Bella Dawson, what a 1-2 punch right there. And, they're kind of chemistry. Seems like it's perfectly, like we're in the first third of the season. Their chemistry right now, you got to be pleased with that.
For sure. I'm definitely pleased with the way in which their offense is starting to work together on a consistent basis. I think Abby's been doing an awesome job, Jordan Gable as well, and obviously Bella in terms of getting working in unison and working together, and then feeders, and I don't know, everyone's really stepping into new roles, which has been awesome.
I love it. And then finally, even though she got a couple goals herself, but the one-woman clear, Jordan Gable. That's some wheels right there. What you coached the speed, didn't you, Coach?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's absolutely all on me. Just kidding. No, Jordan came to us that way, and we're very happy to have her.
Well, lights out speed. Now, lights out. Well, look, you got a tough week in front of you, as you just preached to your girls in the huddle, and I had teammates from Moses Brown in college. We can't look past Moses Brown. You got a tough week in front of you. How do you handle the weekend?
100%. We're giving the kids a little bit of time off over the weekend. We've had a strong stretch of games in the past week, and really want to make sure that they're resting up. And we'll give them some workouts to do on their own, but we're not going to be together until Monday, and we're going to focus on the game plan then, and focus on the game plan when we get to Tuesday.
Coach to coach, player to goalie, whatever. I heard you say something that warmed my heart. Was it's vacation week. You got to keep the stick with you an hour a day. You can't let just because you're not together. When you said that, I was ready to go take the field with you, Coach.
Perfect.
So we hope the players live up to it. Anyway, you've got to be pleased going into a tough week and hitting the reset switch as you get back into classes, right?
100%.
Okay, Coach. Hey, for everybody, it's been Coach Callie Santos with the winning Bishop Girton Cardinals on a hot day and a great result for the ladies in white and green. This is Rich McDonough for the Highlight Guy. Thanks for being with us, everybody.
Thanks, Rich.